The hard-hit manufacturing sector is pleading for more help to cushion the effect of a high dollar. Unions and industry groups alike are pressing the government not to let manufacturing wither, a point they'll make at a meeting in Melbourne today. And one union leader is using the opportunity to renew his call for a shake-up of the Reserve Bank's charter so that it factors in the value of the dollar when setting interest rates. Here's political reporter George Roberts.
Unions and big business have found something they agree on.
If you don't manufacture steel, you can't have a value-adding manufacturing industry in this country.
Steel has got to remain competitive. It's important for Australia as a balanced, diversified and sustainable economy that we have a long-term steel industry in Australia.
So much so, a crisis meeting for steel workers was called in Melbourne, timed to preempt the federal government's own manufacturing task force. The man who's stepping up to run the Australian Industry Group says the story of manufacturing is now one of jobs being hemorrhaged. But that's not all.
It does not tell us about the manufacturers that are operating at about 60% of capacity. It does not tell us about the businesses that have been holding on to staff for dear life.
It's no surprise the opposition thinks all the industry's problems are linked to something that's yet to begin.
Well, if you want to help the steel industry, take off the carbon tax.
The federal government's confirmed it'll put in place new rules to give local manufacturers a better chance of winning contracts on big projects. But that's not enough for the unions. They want the rules governing the Reserve Bank tilted too, so interest rates can be cut and the value of the dollar reduced. Paul Howes thinks it's time the RBA board feels some pressure, just as his members do.
They do get it wrong sometimes, and at the moment they are getting it wrong consistently.
Paul Howes represents a very small part of the economy in terms of union members and industry trying to drive the national policy agenda, and it's very dangerous if governments are influenced by these types of minorities.
That's not to say there isn't a case for a cut next month. The Chamber of Commerce wants a cut of 0.5 percentage point, and the industry wants downward pressure on the dollar too.
There is a growing case, if not a compelling case, for interest rate cuts over the next month or two.
Hoping for a pre-budget gift perhaps. George Roberts, ABC News, Canberra.